Hello and welcome in. Welcome in. I'm Tammy Mastroberti, best-selling author of the book The Universe is Talking to You, and I teach people how to tap into the higher help line of the universe. And today is, of course, Thursday, so I'm here for my weekly spirit boost with all of you. And I am once again sharing a lesson from my own life that I do believe applies to us all. I continue to find that the universe uses myself and my life for me to teach. So I am here to talk about unanswered prayers today. I am here to talk about, I teach you all about asking the universe for help, and you can always ask the universe for help, and the universe always answers. However, the universe does not always answer in the way that we like, and the universe does not always answer in the timing that we would like. And so sometimes the answers are not what we want. Sometimes the answers are not what we think. Sometimes we think nobody's listening. The universe isn't listening. And that's where that unanswered prayers comes from, right? So today I want to share a story from my own life over this past week where I struggled with understanding why something was happening. How many people go through something where they're like, why is this happening? Why can't this work? Why can't I figure this out? Why is this not going the way that I want it to go? I'm trying to do something good. I'm trying to improve my life, whatever it might be. And it's not unfolding in the manner that you think it should unfold, right? I happen to be a Virgo. I happen to be a control freak. Because of that Virgo-ness, and I like to control the situations, and the universe continues to give me opportunities to learn I am not in control, and it's okay if I'm not in control. So here is the story. Because again, what we want is not always what is meant to be, is not always what is in divine timing or what is preordained in our life. There really are no unanswered prayers. There are answers we don't like. So recently for me, I saw, this was actually last Wednesday. So I was on here live with you guys on Thursday. And last Wednesday, I saw someone in on my private Facebook page that I went to grammar school with post that he was working at a mall at a loading dock, like 15 minutes from my house, and someone had dumped kittens. And he believes they were dumped. He believes they were not like ferally born there because he just went to work one day after being there for 10 years, and he saw 2 kittens and he saw 2 pet beds in the dumpster. So after being sick to my stomach about the fact that someone could ever dump an animal without going to a shelter or calling a local vet, or there's so many options available to us to not have to do that. I just thought, oh my gosh, so I followed the story, and he said, I'm trying to get them. He was in a dumpster. He spent hours trying to get these kittens, but they're quick. And there was a hole in the dumpster, and they were going underneath and out, and so what have you. So Wednesday night I had responded, did you get them? He didn't. So Thursday, after I was on here with you guys last Thursday, I said, you know what, let me do the right thing, because I had never captured kittens, right? I mean, I adore cats, and I've had cats all my life, but I've never done the work of trying to capture, random kittens or a cat outside. So I said, I'm going to call a shelter that I have volunteered with. So I called them, and they said, you need to call the police in that district so that they can dispatch animal control, and then animal control can get them and take them to a shelter, to a foster, etc. if they're not feral. Do you know how old they are? I said, nobody knows. They look very tiny. But they were eating because I had left food for them to make sure they stayed. So what happened was I called the animal shelter. I mean, I called the police, and the police said to me, "We will call animal control. Can I get your information?" So the police within like 15 minutes called me back and were like, we have animal control. They, we have a police officer there waiting for animal control. Can you ask your friend to point out where they are? So now I'm messaging my friend and he's like, "Oh no, I'm here with the police." And then I said, "Please let me know, meanwhile, I'm talking to animal control. I'm now texting with animal control. I said, "Please let me know where they're taking these kittens. I just want to make sure that they're not going to like do a TNR on kittens that are not feral, meaning they're going to trap, fix the kittens and then re-release them to the dumpster." Okay. Which they do, people do, which is amazing work because it cuts down on the kitten population for feral cats that really are now feral, and you cannot really take them in as pets anymore once they sort of reach a certain age, apparently. So I guess like an hour went by and I checked my messages and he's like, "Animal control left." And I was like, "Okay, did they get the kittens?" And he's like, "No, they left." And now I was like, "What do you mean?" So he said, "Well, apparently the mall, the security of the mall came over because I guess they saw police, right?" And the mall security said, "Oh, we have cats all over the mall. These are feral. Don't worry about it. Leave them alone." These kittens, by the way, months old. So he says to the mall cop and the police, "I've been here for 10 years. I've never seen a cat anywhere near this dumpster. And I came into work on Wednesday and there was 2 kittens and 2 pet beds." "Oh," the mall person says, "Oh, somebody probably put pet beds in them because they saw the kittens." And he's like, "No, these kittens are not feral. Animal control left." I'm going to stay calm about it. So they left these kittens. So now I'm beside myself, right? Beside myself. I can't function. I'm saying to my husband, "I have to go. I have no idea how to get these kittens, but I have to do it. There's no way I can't let these kittens, die in a dumpster." So anyway, I went there that after the weekly spirit boost, I went there and my friend showed me there were 2 kittens, a big fluffy black one and a little tiny baby black and white one. They looked small. I thought maybe 4 months old. I wasn't sure. But they ran because obviously they're in a strange place and they're scared. So here comes my cat on my lap. So I said, "I'm going to leave food under the dumpster because I don't want them to leave the area. I want to see how I can come back. I'm going to get a trap. I don't know what I'm doing." So I put the food under the dumpster, kitten food, cat food, like wet food. So that in my head, I'm thinking, if they see there's food, they're going to stay, right? Okay. So I leave. I contact a friend who's an animal communicator. I'm like, "I have no idea what I'm doing." I ordered a trap on Amazon that was like big enough, but small enough, like a humane trap, that has like a trigger when they step on it and it just shuts them in. And you're supposed to lure them in with food. I've never done this before. Please keep this in mind. So, my friend who's an animal communicator is like, "I think it's going to be easier than you think. I would go even with a pet carrier," because I was waiting for Amazon to ship out the cage, right? And so the cage wasn't coming until Saturday, and this was now Friday. So I said, "I'm going to go there at night, as it's starting to get dark," because my friend said it gets quiet there around 6 o'clock. No more like unloading at the dock and stuff like that. So I went with the kitten carrier and I put some food inside, and then I sort of put a trail, it was like a duffel bag, like a kitten carrier duffel bag with the flap open on one end, top zipped. And I put it where kind of this little spot in the front of the dumpster between the stairs and the dumpster. And I stood on the side and I was like, "I'm just going to see what happens. I'm just going to stay here and see what happens." So I hear rustling and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh." I see 3 kittens. First of all, I thought they were 2. All of a sudden a little calico comes out. I'm like, "Oh my God, there's 3. So I'm texting my husband on the side up, "There's 3. He's at work. "Oh my God, there's 3. I see the little black and white one go in and it's eating. And so now I don't have a trap, right? So now I have to figure out how I'm closing this duffel bag to try and get, and I see the little fat black one. It was so cute, this little fluffy black one. And it comes around and it looks me in the eye. And I was like, and then it ran back. But I could tell they weren't too freaked out by humans. They were just freaked out in general. So the little black one goes it the black one, the black and white one is in the dumpster. The other little black fluffy black one is in the end. So now I'm freaking out, never have done this before, and I'm like trying to creep around the corner without it seeing me or freaking out to close the flap. So I go to close the flap and I go to zipper it really fast. And the little black one, the fluffy, now, mind you, of course, I had called in all my angels. I forgot this part. I had called everybody in. I called in St. Francis of Assisi, who works with animals. I called in Archangel Ariel, who works with animals and nature. I called in all of my angels. I called in my mother. I called in everybody, okay? I go to close the flap. The little fluffy black one squeezes out the side, and I only get the one. I get the black and white one. So now I zip it and I throw, because I did talk to somebody who did TNR. Another friend was like, reach out to this person on Facebook. She does this all the time. And they said to me, you have to throw a towel or something over. I just realized I'm not even. Okay, I wanted to make sure I could see comments. So I threw the towel over the carrier because it said that that'll stop the kitten from freaking out because it feels safe. So I did that. I run it to my car. I run home with this kitten. And now I know nothing about this kitten. It could have fleas. I have no idea, right? So in our outdoor enclosed barn, we have this area that, if you've been following me for a while, you know that we had kept other feral cats in there, to take care of them couple years ago. So we have this enclosed area in our barn. And so I said, there was already, fluffy blankets down and other cat beds and stuff. So I said, I'm going to keep it here until we can get it to a vet. So I put the kitten there. You can tell it's a sweetheart. It's a sweetheart of a kitten. Okay. Not a feral kitten. I take this stuff. I go back. Nobody comes out. So now I'm like, okay, I have to come back here tomorrow. So I leave food. I said, I'm going to come back. I'm getting these other 2 kittens. I said to my husband, I'm getting these other 2 kittens. So I go back this was Friday. I go back on Saturday and we get the actual cage. Now, being a paranoid overthinker, anybody an overthinker? Being a paranoid overthinker, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if one kitten goes in and presses the thing while the other kitten is at the end of the trap and it gets squashed? So I said to my husband, oh my gosh, how do we do? He's like, oh, no, I'll set it up with a string so that instead of the little plate that they step on closing it, I'll set it up with a string so you can pull it. So he's like, we'll pull it. And then if you can see if there's no other kitten there at the end of the thing, you can pull the thing and the flap will come down and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, thank God. Okay, that makes me feel better. And we practiced 15 times with the string. Okay. How I set it up, make sure it's work, blah, blah, because he had to work. So I was going by myself. So I go by myself. I set up the cage. I get, all the pate, the food, whatever. I put it all out. And again, I'm standing at the back of the dumpster. So I'm standing at the back of the dumpster and I hear noises, but then it was like quiet. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if they're here, whatever. So I had to go back to my car to get something. I don't remember what I was getting. Maybe more food. I can't remember. But I had the string there and I was like, let me just go run. And my car wasn't far. So let me just go run back to my car. So I go back to my car. Again, I had called in all my angels. But here's the thing I just want you to know. I said it this way. I said, if it is in the highest good of me and these kittens, because I know that you don't always get what you want, right? If it is in the highest good of me and these kittens, please help me get them and bring them to safety. So I went to the car to get something. I go back. The food is gone. The kittens were in, the kittens were out, the kittens were gone. Now I am sick because I'm like, oh, why would the time that I decide to go back to my car is the time that the universe sends these kittens? Like, why would you do that? I could have had them home. I could have had them to safety. I could have taken them to the emergency vet. Like, why? I was so upset and I was beating myself up. Tammy, why did you go back to the car? You should have just waited. You should have just stayed. I'm texting my husband. I'm an idiot. I can't believe they did. I screwed this whole thing up. I'm not cut out for this. I'm too emotional. Like, I'm too empathic. I can't do it. He's like, Tammy, waited there I was there till almost 9 o'clock at night. Nobody came out again. So I said, all right, I'm going to wait. I will come back again tomorrow. Left food, left. Meanwhile, I still have this little baby black and white kitten in my house, in the barn, that I am feeding. I went out and bought kitten food. I went out and bought just ridiculous. I'm insane. So I go, and this kitten is so not feral. He was a sweetheart, rubbing all over me, coming into my lap, purring, and I'm sick now because I'm like, these kittens are so obviously not born feral. They're used to humans, right? And somebody trashed these kittens. So I go back into the situation on this is now, and it's pouring rain, mind you, pouring rain in New Jersey all weekend. And I'm like, I don't even know if they'll come out in the rain. My husband gets me a tarp to set up to go from the dumpster over onto the staircase. He gives me these clamps to put on the tarp. I set the whole thing up, you guys. I set the tarp up. I set the cage up, blah, 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 blah. Standing on the side again. I have the string. I said to my husband, I don't care if there's an evacuation of the mall. I am not leaving to go to my car or go anywhere for anything. I'm staying here, right? So I sit there and I'm again on the side of the thing and I hear rustling, like, rustling under, because they come from under the dumpster. So I peek around and I make eye contact with the little calico one. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And I kept going like this. And it literally like looked up at me like this. And I looked down at it and then I went like this. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get it. Thank God. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, all my angels and saints and everybody who's listening to me. Thank you. And I'm standing there and the little guy goes in and he's at the edge of the thing. And I'm looking to see if the black one's there. And I don't see the black one. I don't see the black one. And I'm like, I got to pull the string. I got to pull the string or the thing is going to, the baby's going to leave and I'm going to. So I pull the string. The string doesn't work. The string gets stuck. And I'm like panicking because when I tell you I have tried this string a million times, I tested the string. I tested it before I put the cage down. And the string got stuck and the cage wouldn't close. And I am now in a full-blown panic, having a small heart attack. And I couldn't even think fast enough. And I'm like, do I lean over and pull the cage, like just take the whole cage and pull it up so that the kitten can't get out? And just when I go to do that, the kitten runs out and back under the dumpster. When I tell you I cried like someone in my family had died the entire way home that night, I thought I am failing these kittens. I am screwing this up. This is not how it's supposed to be. How many of you say that to yourself? This is not how it's supposed to be. I am doing something good. I am trying to save lives, right? Like I am trying to save animal lives. And the universe is not working with me. Why is it doing this? Why am I an idiot? Why did this string not work? I must have done something wrong. Like these are all the things we say to ourselves when things don't work out. I must have done something wrong. I must have screwed something up. This is all my fault. Maybe I should have left them all there. Maybe I shouldn't have even taken the black and white one who is now away from its siblings. And I am just sick. And I'm texting my husband and he's like, you need to relax. And this is what I love when my husband quotes my own stuff back to me. He's like, Tammy, I've been around you long enough to know, right? We've been together for 8 years, married for almost 4. I've been around you long enough to know. You know everything happens for a reason. You tell me it all the time. If the universe wanted you to get these kittens, he's like, these were freak things. You went back to your car to get food or whatever it was, and the kitten came out. You tested the string 15 times, and the string didn't work. And I'm like, we should have never used the string. I should have just done the cage the way we were supposed to do. Crying like a death in the family. And so after I pulled myself together, and I again emailed my friend who's an animal communicator, just saying, I can't believe I did this. And I should have just done the trap the right way. And I'm screwing this up. And what if these kittens leave it? After going through all of this stuff, I got myself, and she even said back to me like, Tammy, you need to manage your energy. This is not your fault. You do not, this is not, these kittens have a say. That's what she said to me. And I tell you, I 100% believe that our animals, any animal really, but especially our pets, they are meant to find us and we are meant to find them and they are meant to come to us. And animals have a say in their lives, in their own deaths. The way the animal goes, it decides. Who's around it, it decides. I believe this so much, so much. And if you're not familiar with all animal communication and animals and the other side and all of that, I recommend looking up Danielle McKinnon, who teaches a lot about it. She's another animal communicator that I know. And so she's like, the animals have a say. All you can do is call in your help, communicate love to these animals, and then give them the option and give them the choice. And then I had my husband saying, Tammy, if you were meant to get them, you would have gotten them. Tammy, you didn't do anything wrong. Tammy, listen to your own teachings, right? And I'm like, I know, but when you're in the moment, here's the thing. When you're in the moment and you're in your emotions, and this applies to all of us, including me, because I am a soul in a human body, none of that matters. None of that makes sense. You just think I screwed this up. You just think, what did I do? You just think this is my fault. You just think I can't do it right. You just think I must be being punished for something, right? This is what we think when things don't work out. And here I am praying to Saint Francis and Archangel Ariel and all of my angels. And please just let me get these kittens. Please just let me take them to safety and I will find them all homes. And maybe I will keep one or two, I'll do whatever I need to do. And I could have easily said, see, that doesn't work. Prayer doesn't work. My angels didn't help me. They let me screw this up. But I know better than that. I know better than that. And so I had to reel my energy back in. I had to do some grounding and some, bringing myself back into my body and reminding myself of how the universe works. And I had to say to myself, you got this black and white one for a reason. That baby went right into that cage. It wasn't even the cage. I caught it in a duffel bag carrier, okay? You were meant to get that baby. If you are meant to get the other ones, you will get the other ones. If you are not meant to get the other ones, you have to let it go and know that that is not their life path and that is not your life path, and that these coincidences, the string not working, me going to my car for 2 minutes, and that is when these things were happening, are beyond me. They're beyond me, and I can't beat myself up about it. And my God, has this been a hard lesson for me, honestly. Because I am too sensitive and too empathic. I said to all my friends and my husband, I said, I am not cut out for this. I'm never doing this again. And then right after I said it, I go, who am I kidding? If I heard that there were kittens somewhere, I would freaking do it again. You know what I mean? Like, I would do it again, but I'm not cut out for it. God bless the people who do this work, who work with animals all the time. I'm telling you, I am not cut out for it. I can't do it. It's so much. So anyway, I'm continuing to try and go as long as the food is being eaten. I went last night, the food was eaten, but no one came out. I'm going to continue to try for a little bit. And if I do not get these kittens, then I know in my heart that this black and white baby, and he is a boy because we took him to the vet, this black and white baby, who's only 3 months old, by the way, these kittens are someone dumped 3-month-old kittens. He is 3 pounds, 3 ounces, and perfectly healthy. I know that this baby was meant for us. I know it. And the funny thing is, my husband started off with like, you're crazy. This is you. This is all you. I don't know. I can't get involved. I have so much going on, blah, blah, blah. We have a huge Halloween party we do every year. We're trying to do stuff around the house. He's like, I can't, and then he went to like, helping me with the string, putting a little piece of foam at the bottom of the cage in case it did come down on a kitten. Like, he got all involved, fell in love with this kitten. I have pictures. I'm going to post some stuff on my, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I will post some pictures of this cute little baby. But he went from spending hours with this cat and it crawling all over him and him saying, well, maybe we just keep it, now he's in love. So I know that this kitten was meant for me. And if I am not meant to get the other two, That is beyond me. That is the universe. That is a contract. I believe we have contracts with animals that come into our lives, whether they come into our lives for 5 minutes or they come into our lives for 20 years, right? Because some cats will live 20 years. I believe we have contracts. And I believe I had a contract with all of these kittens, even the ones that I didn't get, because they're teaching me. They're teaching me so that I can teach you. Number one, you are not in control of another animal. They have their own mind. They have their own thoughts. You're not in control of any, of external circumstances. We're really only in control of ourselves and our reaction to things. And they have a voice, and that everything really does happen for a reason. And those stupid random things that happened to me to mess this situation up happened for a reason, because maybe I was not meant to get them. Now, again, I'm still going to go and try. But if I do not get them, I am not going to beat myself up about it, because I know in my heart I was meant to get the black and white one, and I was meant to save him. And now I'm just going to pray that my cat, Callie, who we've had for 6 years on her own, also falls in love with this little baby. And I do not have a problem with her accepting him. So he's now in our guest room. And he's like, you can't even tell. When I post the pictures, you're going to be like, you can't even tell how small he is. He's literally 3 months old. So I come here to share all this with you because it was honestly, it took me a minute to go back to my teachings and remember how the universe works. Because when you are in a situation and there is an emotional attachment to an outcome, it is very easy to say, my higher helpers are not helping me. They're not listening. They're not answering me. I'm praying and it's not working. Why is it not working? Why did they not make this go the way that I wanted it to go? It's so easy to do that. And I did it. I did it for about 24 hours on and off because I kept bringing myself back and then blaming myself and bringing myself back and saying, this isn't working. I don't understand this. And then I finally got it. Again, with the help of people around me, because when you're emotionally involved in something, your own brain can't work properly and you need people around you to remind you. Please, I hope I am reminding you of something that can help you right now, that it's what's in the highest good. It's what is contracted. If something goes wrong, it went wrong for a reason. And you have to not beat yourself up about it. You have to take a step back about it, and trust. And this has been a hard one for me because I just wanted to save all these babies and I wanted to find homes for them and have them loved forever and be safe and not outdoors and not in a dumpster, and living on the street at a mall. So anyway, I'm going to continue to try. But if I don't get them, then I don't get them. And I'm going to let go of that. And I'm going to focus on the one that I did get, that obviously I was meant to get. Because again, the sweetest, like he tries to like touch your fingers and his claws don't even come out. Like the sweetest kitten you've ever met in your life. And I just feel so good that we got him and saved him. And it's so obvious that he was meant for us. And so my cat is just going to have to love it. That's it. That's it. It's going to have it. But I wanted to come on here and share this with you because number one, I am human and I come on here and I teach and I share lessons with you and I tell you, how to use these spiritual tools and how the universe works and everything that I've learned. And I try to make your life easier. And I want you to know that it's not, even those of us who are teaching others, we go through the same stuff. We fall under the same things and we struggle with the same stuff. And the good news is when you know how the universe works and you understand it, you don't stay stuck and upset for as long as you would if you didn't understand how the universe works. That's why I always tell people when it comes to signs and synchronicity in my book, I want you to find proof in your own life that the universe is always operating for your highest good. Because then when something happens in your life, you can bring yourself back faster to center. And that's where I'm at right now. So I just still think it's absolutely horrible. Number one, that someone dumped them. Number two, that animal control left. I mean, what are you doing? But again, it's what was meant for the lives of all three of these kittens, and we will see where it ends up. I don't know where it's going to end up yet. I'm still going to try, but I have not seen them at all since Saturday. Or no, I'm sorry. Was it since Saturday or was it since Sunday? Sunday is the last time I saw them. So as long as the food is still being eaten, I'm still going to try and we'll see what happens. And if I get them, I will certainly let you all know. But meanwhile, I have a little baby in my guest room that we're taking care of now, and I'm very happy about him. So let me just check some of the comments and see what you guys have to say. Lorraine, oh, you can't get into yesterday's masterclass replay. You were a member, so I'm not sure why. I would email Mary Jane. I would email Mary Jane in support@elevatedexistence.com, and she can help you figure out why you can't get in, because I'm pretty sure you're still a member. So you should just be able to go into the membership site and go into Tammy's classes, and then it should be the first one. Let's see. Mary, I have a Yorkie I rescued. Oh, little doggy. She had been found at a dumpster. No way. And she's even microchipped. The Humane Society contacted the owner and they didn't want her. This breaks me. But I'm so glad you see, Bella is my baby now and I am her human. So you were meant, this is what I'm saying to you. You were meant to find that baby and now it is yours. That's how it works. 100%. But that, I mean, that just, I don't know how people do things like that and then just go on with their lives. She said, I pulled myself from the ledge many times and got back to my center of trust. Yes. Yeah. I mean, you do. You have to just pull yourself back because we're human and our emotions are going to get involved, right? And especially if you are a sensitive and empathic person, which I think a lot of people who are on a sort of spiritual path to improving their lives and improving themselves and improving the world or whatever it is, you are empathic and you are sensitive, and it hits us harder, I think, sometimes because we feel so much. And but again, I really do believe that anything in life happens for a reason, but especially the animals that we find and that we come across are meant for us. I mean, the first cat that I ever had, I wound up, her name was Phoebe. I had her until she was in 17 and a half, maybe, before she passed. Came into my life a couple months after my mother died, and came into my life when I said, I really would like to get a kitten. And then all of a sudden my aunt had heard that a friend of hers, a friend of a friend, had found a kitten at a warehouse, brought it home, and the daughter was allergic and they had to get rid of the kitten. The kitten was living in their bathroom. And so that's how I wound up with my baby Phoebe. And I know that my mother sent me that cat. And I know that I was meant to be with that cat. And she was with me for 17 years. I got her when she was 6 months old. And my cat Callie that I have now, I just started feeling like I want to get another cat. And my husband and I were like, let's just go to a PetSmart where they do, a lot of the shelters will go to those places to, get an adopt, help you adopt. And the one woman overheard me saying that I work from home and I'm home all the time, and I was really just looking for one cat. I don't think I'd do that again. I think I would always get two together so they have someone. But she came over to me with my cat in her arms, again, like 6 months old, and said, you work from home, so you'll be home all day. And I said, yeah. And she goes, I think this is the perfect cat for you. And I was like, really? And I melted and I fell in love. And now she's my cat and she's running around here right now, Callie. So and again, we didn't pick her. None of these cats did I pick. They picked me. Phoebe found me. Callie found me. The woman came up to me. We were looking at all the cats and she just came up to me with this cat. And I was like, this is my cat. This baby boy, I heard about him on Facebook, right? So our animals will find us, and they find us for a reason, and they teach us, and they teach us throughout our entire loving ownership of them so many different lessons. And again, if you want to know more about that, I would look into the work of Danielle McKinnon. She actually has a book called Animal Lessons. And I just struggled with this one, and I said, I have to just share this with people so that you all know there really is a reason for everything. And then when you can get back to that, you can make peace with the things that are happening in your life or the things that are happening around you. So that is what I wanted to come on here and share with you all. I will post pictures of the little baby boy. At some point I will have him on here once I introduce him. I'm just want to get, he's very nervous. He's still very nervous, but as soon as you pick him up and pet him, he purrs so loud. But he's, we have to keep him in the guest room now, and he's going to stay in the guest room till he gets really comfortable and acclimated in there. And then at some point we have to try and introduce him to my other cat and pray that that goes well. So we'll see what happens. But I will post pictures so you can see the little baby. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I will be sure to post pictures. He's adorable. And we still don't have a name for him. We just found out yesterday he's a boy. So now we have to come up with a name because we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. We had no clue. My husband felt boy the whole time. I kept going back and forth, but it even took the vet, it's so little, it's 3 months old. So it took the vet like a couple of minutes to figure out what it was. But she was like, oh, nope, we're a boy. And I was like, okay, great. So anyway, he is safe with us now. And we'll see what happens. But anyway, I had to share that with you guys because I like to share the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything with you, just so that in the hopes that something that I am saying here, something that I'm sharing here clicks with you and helps you in your own life, in struggles with anything that you might be going through. So I'm sending you all love into the weekend. If you have your baby animals, hug them and squeeze them tight. And I will, of course, be back here next Thursday with another weekly spirit boost for all of you. And if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button to help me get this out into the world and help more people. I thank you all for showing up and being here with me today. And I hope you have an amazing, wonderful weekend. My sign off is always do something that brings you joy just for you, because not only do you deserve it, but it will boost your vibration and make you feel better. Sending you all my love, and I will see you back here at noon Eastern next Thursday. Bye, everyone.